Tell you good stuff. That's On Your Feet, the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. Right there is Josh Segarra, who's starring in this at the Marquee Theater, 46th Street between Broadway and 8th Avenue. We welcome you back to your home in public broadcasting. You started out 21 years of age. What show?
The Electric Company.
How great was that?
The best. You know, it was just an opportunity to. It was my first big boy job out of college. You know, so I took everything that I learned. You know, that you quite hadn't put into action yet, and I learned so much on that set. I learned from everybody that I got to work with. You know, I got to work with the likes of Chris Jackson. You know him from Hamilton, and Lin-Manuel, and Tommy Kail, and Bill Sherman. These guys that taught me a lot, man. So I grew up a lot on that set. I grew up a lot in my first job.
Tell me about this job, On Your Feet.
Oh, man, we have a ball every night. You know, I never thought I'd get to play somebody as beautiful as Emilio. You know, he's just one of those guys that you're smiling when you're around him. You know, he's a passionate soul. He cares a lot about everybody around him. He's driven, he's smart, he's funny. He's the best, man. And I don't say that lightly. I really do mean it. I want to be him when I grow up.
Explain that relationship between the two of them.
Between me and Emilio?
No, between me and Gloria. Yeah.
They're a partnership. They're a team. You know, they have each other's back so well. You know, they complement each other. You know, I always laugh because, you know, before I met them, I mean, look at them. Come on.
Beautiful.
You know, they just know what they wanted. You know, he knew what he wanted early, and he wanted to take care of his family. I think that's what it all started with. You know, he came from. It sounds so cliche, but he came from nothing. You know, and he fought. He fought really hard, and he came with his dad. They came to the States. They got to Miami. You know, and you know, at one point he was working 4 jobs. You know, up in the morning as soon as the sun comes up, and he still is up at about 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, feeding the ducks. You know, that's his peaceful time. So they just knew what they wanted. He wanted to protect his family. He wanted to protect his people. And now look at him. You know, now he gets to represent for everybody. And I don't say that just Latinos. He gets to represent for a people that if you fight for what you believe in, come on, nobody can stop you.
What was the challenge like for them? How hard was it for them to succeed in the way they did?
You know, I don't want to downplay it because I didn't go through it with them, but just from hearing about it, man, they fought really hard. I'm sure it was difficult, you know. You're trying to knock down barriers and trying to knock down these walls that at that time, you know, hadn't been knocked down yet, you know. They wanted to cross over, right? They came out with this sound that quite hadn't been heard yet, you know. So he's trying to introduce it, you know, trying to tell them, hey, we can cross over. We can make this, we can make this, we can go mainstream with this, you know, and you've got people closing those doors on you.
No, you can't.
No, you can't, exactly, you know. And that's what
there are rules here.
Yeah, that's what he always tells me now. He's like, you fight, man. You fight for what you believe in, and you keep trucking forward, you know, and look where they are now, you know. And they never lost themselves. They never lost who they were. They never lost their heart. They never lost their humility, you know, and that's what I love about them now, you know. It's like hanging with your uncle and your aunt, you know, with your sister and your brother. That's how I feel like when I'm hanging out with them. And look at what they've done, man. They're just impressive. They really are.
Who comes to the show?
Say again?
Who comes to the show? What kind of people? Who's drawn to it?
I think who's drawn to it is anybody that, you know, sometimes you go to the theater and you feel, maybe you feel downtrodden sometimes, or you see a story that, you know, that makes you walk out a little somber. Not ours, man. The story about Emilio and Gloria and their family is one of just what passion can get you, and, you know, fighting for that American dream, you know, what we can all strive for. You know, I've learned so much from my cast. I've learned so much from them, you know, and that's, I think, is coming to our show. People that want to enjoy themselves, have a good time, and you walk out of there learning about these two individuals, what they went through to get where they are today. But more importantly, you walk out feeling rejuvenated, I feel. You know, I feel like you can go out there and tackle the world after you see our show.
Makes everybody understand
on your feet. Title. Makes everybody on your feet, you know?
That song, right?
I love looking out in the audience at the end when we're just kind of dancing and jiving. When I see people smiling, truly, like from ear to ear, that grin that you get from folks,
right?
You can't replicate that. You know, when I get to come to the stage door, I get to say some pretty cool stuff in this show. I get to represent for a story that I've lived through as well. You know, I'm a Puerto Rican kid from Orlando, Florida. My parents are both pharmacists. They both worked really hard to where they get. They worked really hard to get to take care of me, my brother, and my sister. And for me, you know, when I walk out of that stage door and I have people telling me, you know, that they were moved that evening,
or the end of the show, you walk out, they're waiting for
at the
you.
stage door, when they get to come, and folks are really nice, man. That never gets old, you know, to see people smiling at the stage door, to see a mother and a daughter, to see a father and a son. You know, one of my good friends came and saw the show, and he brought his dad, who immigrated from Cuba when he was younger. And I'd met his dad a couple times. We'd gone to a couple dinners, you know, and I loved him. He loved me. And I walked out of that door, and I saw them standing there, and I saw his dad in tears. And I never knew that I could do that to somebody that I already had a love for, and he already had a love for me. And he was just like, I hadn't relived my youth that way. And today I got to see you kind of tell me a story about me, and that was a very.
What it did for you?
It was a very cool moment. Oh man, what it did for me was it made me want to go back and do the show again. You know, I think it was at 11:30 at night that we were talking about it, and I went to bed that night, couldn't even fall asleep. You know.
You know, you're an athlete in so many ways. I mean, but you wanted to be a wrestler as a kid.
I did.
The lucha libre thing.
Maybe not lucha, but
Well, was that,
definitely.
you're saying like a competitive collegiate?
Oh
or
no! Professional sports
you're talking
entertainment
about
is what it's
sports
called
entertainment,
now.
like WWE.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's how this
Like
this
Mil
whole thing
Mascara
started.
stuff?
Oh yeah,
Hardcore?
bro. Of course, absolutely.
Like, I
love
know
that you
this
know
crazy
Mil
stuff.
Mascaras,
Oh,
man.
you're
That's
kidding me.
great.
That's back in the day.
That's
fun.
fantastic.
You're talking about Rey Mysterio.
Mysterio
So that's your
Jr.
whole thing.
Absolutely.
Why?
Man. You know what? They were larger than life to me. You know, as a kid, I would watch Ninja Turtles. I would watch a lot of Nickelodeon, you know, a little all that, you know. I started with Keenan and Kel and all those shows. But what I watched 6 nights out of the week was wrestling, man. You know, I say 6 because the 7th maybe I had to go to church that day.
That's
My mom said you can't watch
Being
wrestling
Catholic,
today,
you know.
okay?
I understand.
You know, so I would just pop in these tapes, man, and Hulk Hogan was larger than life to me. The Ultimate Warrior was larger than life.
Yeah.
Macho Man, these guys. And that's what started me, you know, I think that's what got me into this business, you know, because I recorded a bunch of matches with my buddies, you know, and we'd have to work on the mic, and we'd have to cut promos with each other. That's improv right there.
Ready?
That's
I'm gonna date myself, but you're gonna appreciate this. Back in the day, Pedro Morales.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm
man.
talking about?
Absolutely, I know
knew
what
you
you're
would
talking
know.
about. Of course.
He was the guy.
Yeah, man. See, now I think it's, you know, you've got somebody like The Rock. You know, look at him. He crossed over. He's so
crossed
mainstream now. But why do you think he crossed over? Not because he was a great wrestler. He was an amazing wrestler.
Mike Skills.
Mike Skills.
Mike Skills. I knew you were going there. See, people are like, what is Steve doing right now?
Yeah.
My producer's like, what is he doing right now?
We're talking about the important things, Steve. We're talking about the things that matter.
I knew you appreciate this.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
No, not yet. I just needed to do that. Now, stay right here.
I appreciate that. Okay.
How about this?
Hit me.
When you did this, not the wrestling, this.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, I am in the middle of this extraordinary experience. Mm-hmm. Do you actually start thinking what's next, or you're like, I'm in this? Because I've had so many people who are thinking about the next thing. I'm like, no, do this.
Well, I'll tell you what naturally happens. You start thinking about the next thing.
You do.
You do.
While
it's
you're in
inevitable. It's inevitable. I think it's, you know, with what we do, man, in the business that we're in.
You get a little paranoid.
Yeah, you get a little
too?
paranoid.
I thought I was the only one.
You kidding me, man? That keeps me up at night, brother.
It's like, how long is this going to last?
Yeah, I got a family to take care of, okay? You know, like I'm always thinking about what's going to happen next, you know?
You do.
I do. You know, so for me, if anything, that was Emilio in me. He was going, okay, papi, I know you're working hard. I know. But enjoy the moment. Enjoy. Because I get so caught up thinking about, okay, this is going really well. How can I take this and capitalize it and learn from it to put it to the next thing?
Yeah.
And pretty soon you forget that I'm still telling a story that matters to a lot of people. So I always laugh because you can have anything going on, right? Your day is going on, you're at the gym, you're thinking,
it's all good.
But once I get to the theater, once 8 o'clock comes around, once those lights turn on, it's Dr. Footlights. That train is moving. And for me, my job from 8 to 10:30 is to tell this story that I have the honor of telling every night. You know?
It is an honor, right?
Oh my gosh,
I feel the same way about sitting here.
It's the
Hey,
best.
before I let you go, what's your obsession with The Bachelor? What's your deal, man? You have people come over and watch The Bachelor?
Oh man, we are in a bachelor bracket, brother. My wife won it last year.
What?
I got, this was the first
It's
year.
not the NCAAs.
No way, man, but it matters just as much as the NCAA, okay?
What?
Come on, bro. You're trying to negotiate between, you know, JoJo or I forgot the other girl's name, but they were so sweet, you know? I just love it, man. It's such a good time to hang with your friends and laugh and just look at them going, man, you guys put yourselves through this for 3 months.
So hold on, you're sitting there laughing at these people.
But because I admire them.
Don't you feel bad?
You know what? I see how sensitive my heart is, so I would never put myself through that. You know, I got lucky. I found mine. So I see these people who are 26 women. You're going to go on a show, and you're going to hope that this guy likes you? Oh, my gosh,
But you
man.
sit there and watch it.
And
It tears you apart.
I eat little snacks, you know. I pick who I think is going home. Dude, the worst, Steve, the worst
Go ahead.
is the first week of the bracket. You don't even get to watch the show. You just see a picture of every girl, and you have to send some home.
I can't believe how serious you're such a serious guy. You're so talented.
I know.
I'm not going to criticize any other shows. It's a beautiful. Invite me over.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll get into it.
Absolutely.
No,
you
PBS, we have more serious discussions.
Yeah.
Josh Segarra, On Your Feet. It's a great story at the Marquis Theater, 46th Street, between Broadway and 8th Avenue. We thank you very much. Let's go watch WWE.
Absolutely, brother.
Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
Stay
Thank
with us.
you.
We'll be right back right after this. I can't believe we talked about wrestling.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation, Investors Bank, Felician University, New Jersey Resources, the North Ward Center, and by Cone Resnick. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.